legitimately, let's put this into innocent and stupid perspective, just so you can understand this. I'm just going to clear this up. Because sometimes it's not genius. Sometimes the problem is so small that you don't understand how petty and tiny that you actually being about some shit. Because I don't owe you. And even when you're sitting there and it's kind of like, either you're dumb and you're arrogant, or you're a fucking stupid ass demon or something, or whatever falls into you're an evil bad person, I don't want to be with you, and you're dumb. But more importantly, even when an innocent person is sitting there and you're like, you did something that I had to do that was stupid with a stupid person and brought me more stupid trash, that just makes you stupid, not innocent. Because if I already told you once and you already know better than that, then you're fucking stupid too. But then by the end of it, what are you trying to get at this? Because anybody can cheap shot anybody or finish the fucking game. Now, if I'm not the type of person that puts up with a lot of bullshit and I just end these fucking games, why the fuck would you sit there and think that it's another funny, good game to be on my side or to be a good guy while you're just doing evil, dumb bullshit? Because eventually it's like, oh, you did the same stupid thing that the other stupid motherfucker does and doesn't really understand me or my tactics to what is actually good about life. The good part is like, oh, your problem went away and you learned that stupid things make your problem go away. Well, after a while, you and the stupid people line. So there's a line of your stupid bullshit, and after a while, it just looks like your stupid bullshit. So you're left to go suffer and find your own answer. I'm not going to just help you and then teach you how to annoy me more. Like, I'm not fucking just common sense stupid. You're not my wife. You're not my lover. You're not somebody that I'm forced to care about otherwise than in fate or whatever the world is owed more than the gratitude of my heart to simply help the fucking world, or to make it a better place, so we chose other people, or we helped somebody different. But just harassing me or harassing something that someone had to respond to someone stupid, you are dumb and you are bringing more dumb trash. And if you keep using stupid things, you get a stupid answer. Eventually, they weren't your problem. So why wouldn't you just live in the natural course of the fucking world? Now, of course, I'm not arrogant or even announce that, but after a while, you doing stupid trash to random people and have random problems, and then you keep trying to alias yourself as favors that I did for other people. Well, then after a while, you're not in this fucking group, you're not in this crew, you're not in this fucking championship, you're not in this fucking whatever the fuck, you're not in it. Just get the fuck out. You not in it. You not a nerd either. Get the fuck out. You not a nerd. All that stuff doesn't apply to the fact that, like, they did something stupid, so eventually we got rid of the innocent bystander. So why are you here acting like a stupid motherfucker, like it entitles you to something because you knew somebody else cleaned it up? I'm not just a fucking trash man for your bullshit. By the end of it, why don't you add up the fucking fact that you're just as fucking stupid and you almost falling in the same rules apply because you're working from something stupid somebody did to get at somebody's better tactics? Well, I don't owe you any. That person didn't remember them either, and you won't either. And by the end of it, it's just kind of like the other things that were disposed of, oh the fuck well. I don't owe you a fucking thing. Get it fucking straight. What are you, dumb? And then by the end of it, it's just a simple thing of like, well, don't you get it? They're so fucking stupid. They live in a very short, small, dumb world. All their stuff was dumb enough to show that they had a fucking grievance. Well, then you're welcome to leave. And I'm talking about you can leave life, you can leave this continent, you can leave this world, and you can leave the sea, man, and you can leave fucking space, and you can leave Earth, and goodbye, you're fucking fired from this planet. That's how bad. I don't know, I don't care. Sometimes I can just push you off this motherfucker. 3D isn't you in a physical reality, and a fucking array of light may not even be able to help your dumb ass, because you as dumb as not being able to read a book. Like, if you so bad that you could stop a basic education, sooner or later you're gonna deal with some smart thugs and criminals and scholars and shit who are just as bad and simply have better methods for dealing with you and other people's bullshit to the point where it doesn't cause so much fucking chaos or problems. But you try to cause chaos and problems to achieve a goal of being better than me, or worse, just making it worse for no fucking reason. I don't have to put up with no drama. I don't have to put up with all that bullshit. You don't get a lot of that fucking shit from me. I'm a humble, good motherfucker, but when it comes to the end of it, it's like, yeah, we took our chance to throw you off that fucking cliff, dog. 300, bitch, bye. We don't even care. And you talk about like, oh, well, guess what? They were all sweet church folk and I never saw that coming. Well, let me tell you something. They weren't all the time, and they really weren't all the time. But when it comes down to it, and I even look at this situation, I'm like, that little small flock that threw that person away, I almost want to look at the rest of you and laugh, because you're looking at me like I'm the biggest, baddest motherfucker in the world, and I'm literally like, dude, some other group of people threw it away out of the fact that it was just like not good for us or the world, so they threw that shit away. Now, it quickly resolved itself, because it's like you doing some childish, petty shit and you don't even realize it. You're simply merely annoying each other. Merely. Just mirror-like annoying each other. Reflecting stupid garbage within each other to see if it can make your world more prosperous and what? Fucking money? like, and you do it for money sometimes, then it's bad enough for me to throw you away. And not just as a fucking poor person, but for knowing what I know money is. It's another fucking disgusting greed, and you can only fight for so much before you're like, what's with you and all these type of sicko tactics about maintaining your strategy on money? Like, why do you think you have to argue for money? Most people earn money. They don't just sit there and try to like trick or swindle each other out of fucking money, like, or just straight out rob each other with brute force, or set it up to such a parallel design that it's like, hey, you might as well put the money in the bucket because religion didn't do that anyways. They did it the nice way. So why not figure out a different way to do it? If you wanted people to like go and worship your fucking website, we might do it. We might even support you with some old school methodology like, oh, they are one of ours in diplomacy or something. We could have loved you, but instead you got to be a stupid motherfucker. Like, what are you, dumb? And then the weird part is like, you add to the disease and sickness in society and expect to be rewarded for being so independently destructive and stupid that someone good like me might just catch you on how I know how to square up and just be offering you why there were no innocent bystanders. You're a dumb motherfucker. Like, even at the end of the day, there's supposed to be good diseases. Go listen to that shit. Go trick yourself then. Because you like affecting the world or some shit, even if it's good or bad. What if it's just like, I didn't even know who, what, where, why. I simply cleaned that shit up in solid peace. You would have thought I was a fucking religious surgeon or some shit. You would have had no fucking clue. And then to find out that, like, I'm some harmless fucking, like, you know, aphrodisiac, exotic fucking, you know, Wiccan thug or some shit. Well, a spiritual thug, a spiritual gangster or whatever the fuck. At the end of the day, I didn't see anybody else making any fucking rules around here. And after a while, you can't work for the same religion all the time. And there's little baby dumb bullshit that I have to do and deal with from being a juvenile or from growing up in a different world where no one understands how petty and how fucking childish some people can be. And the only thing I asked you was for fucking maturity, and you couldn't even grant us that? So after a while, I was like, yeah, I may look like a trick in the game and all that bullshit, but how I look is the purpose of, could you even get away with reading more than 3 pages of a book or doing anything? After a while, you don't know my rules in this house, and then that's for you to go leave and face the real world, or realize that I'm not talking to my child. I'm talking to, like, if you are this infantile as an intellect, or stupid, or this is what you think of your theologies in life, then you may have no theory in life. You may not know what it's all about. You may not even belong to physics. The engineering may not be you. I may not have to sit there and fight you and have a little war with you and then you profit off of hate and anger and make the world a shitty place. I may not have to deal with you. I may not be that fucking stupid. I may not be as stupid as I fucking look for what the world has to be. I may not be one of your puppets that grew up that you like to doodle on and have fucking stupid ass ink marks on. Maybe I'm just not one of those thugs. Maybe I'm not you. But in the end of the day, for everything that I have to protect and will never forsake, who I am, what I belong to, and no one understanding that, is because I don't fit the story. You read the character and you never knew what the fuck I was till you saw it, and it was like, this guy isn't even wearing a mask, he's just good for you. Now, what do you not understand that by the end of it, of course I don't make like that to me, but like after a while, it's like I feel bad for the world because I pity them, because you would have never seen that shit fucking coming from me. You would have just thought, oh, well, they're going to try to gamble my life and do this little sick game. No, not all of us do. Some of those even church people threw your ass the fuck away. Some of the other people weren't even in a fucking mafia, threw your ass away. All the other people were like, you not looking like you adding up to good faith for any of us. Well, what are you going to do? Call me lazy because I don't want to work on your project? Well, then, oh, well, goodbye. I don't owe you. And then, like, what the fuck you gonna say to me? Some more offensive shit that I could go and recount? And it's like, some of them were even fucking famous and already rich, and I'd still have to put up with the fact that, like, they really did that to a different community, and that community is choosing not to be mad because it's too easy to throw them the fuck away. But you want to sit there and argue over tactics and then have arguments with them and shit. What does that look like? You clinging on the world and you beggar. You begging for shit that we don't have to earn self-respect, because that's already at terms. When people talk about earning respect, it's like, where did you come from? We all have dignity, civilization, we all have human civil rights and shit. If you are affecting that even on a spiritual level, that gives me the embodiment and the right to cast whatever the fuck I feel like. whatever the fuck I feel like. You couldn't be so more empty, vague, and stupid, and wrong, and shallow about everything, and vapid and empty about almost everything to understand that minus you equals the fact that, like, maybe I wasn't a little sick bitch about how I felt in the fucking world. Maybe I wasn't that fucking selfish. So why don't you just add it up that, like, you weren't making sense in this fucking book, and I nudged you the fuck out of it. And then after that, the world had their choice of, like, well, we living behind some books, we were living behind some theories, we living behind some reality, and then by the end of it, you just want to be a dog shit piece of crap. Well, eventually, sooner or later, like, you meet people that are intelligent enough that I don't need to give you an answer. And guess what? All the other intelligent people that are in this fucking club, or like you like to talk about secret cults and all that extra bullshit, and like nobody runs their mouth, and I'm a fucking young, poor newbie. If you want to consider that, but just be honest with yourself. No matter what age or creed or motto, you heading in the world where like a little kid could have pushed you off the face of the world. I was eating adults when I was a fucking kid. Fuck a vampire. I was something worse than that. And I don't fucking owe you about how I developed, why I know right things. And it was all because one day, some guy from a church gave me some food and I asked, what is that place? And he explained to me what a fucking church is. And I knew that's the hand that I will never bite. And that's all I fucking know about them. Now, what I know about other people like science, man, you got a lot of weird laws, but I ain't seen no fucking mistake yet. And the theories that you admit are theories don't bother me that fucking much. But then when it comes back to all of you play with this thing called fucking money, and I've seen it buy, sell, and destroy people slowly in slow motion in front of my eyes, even while they buying coffee at a fucking company that can only survive us because it did philosophically better than us, then that's it. Then I guard that little store with my fucking life. And then by the end of it, what you think a pretty thug is? Somebody you don't fucking talk to because I don't either. So by the end of it, why don't you look at the real satisfaction of this is that I do not agree. I disagree, motherfucker. I am in contempt. I don't owe you. I don't want nothing from you. I don't owe you a fucking thing, you trash. And then by the fucking end of it, it's just kind of like you keep trying to install a game with me and us. Well, look, guess what? I literally nudged it away. I literally fucking ignored it. I ignored it for more than 25 fucking years. You even try to put me in beef with other motherfucking people and try to see me gamble my motherfucking assets across the fucking world with people. I don't owe you that. I don't even owe you a small territory of like, oh, guess what? You know what the joke is on you? All they were doing was protecting their own fucking parents. They were protecting other little small kids. He ain't my cousin, but now he's my cousin. How did that happen? I just kept eating, motherfucker. I didn't give a shit. I'm not even a bully. And that's the worst part is you think you have to be a bully. You another confused, dumb motherfucker in the world that literally has to pay each other off to try to figure out what the confusion is about why they have to hate you because you literally did something wrong. You're like a faulty product. It's easier to throw that shit away. It's like a disposable rockin' razor. We already done cutting the job out. It looks perfect and we don't fucking owe you. Thank you for your time at the fucking barbershop. Don't even tip me. I don't want it. You just keep the world going around and use your money for something better than whatever. I don't know and I don't care. I don't need a tip from somebody who doesn't even know how to treat me fucking correctly for doing a good job. So by the end of it, I don't owe the world shit and the world don't owe me shit. We threw out the trash the same way we did anybody the fuck else. Don't bother fucking poor people. Stay out of poor people's fucking business. And when you misappropriate certain things in fucking life, the payback is that the community accepts that behavior because you're one of us. So you treat it like you're one of us. No one will notice that kind of bullshit because we buy faith and drink and consume the things that we believe are profit of the products that we all work on as a fucking people. We did that for another community as a fucking gift. Here's the beautiful maiden to give you your fucking drink, and then you enjoy it like a casual man. You get the fuck out. Why are you questioning the bouncer? Why are you bothering the guardian? Why are you looking at his adopted children? Why are all of my children adopted all over the fucking world? Why I got like 14 fucking children that are grown ass fucking adults that I just choose not to eat their pressure points or their pinkies so that they wouldn't recognize no fucking corpse? I don't owe you. Face the facts. Be real about something. I don't like your industry and I'm not bullying you. I don't have to bully you. You in the wrong fucking page type of shit. Get back to work. Snip snap. You want to work for me? Go work for me. Because it ain't gonna be a dream in fucking paradise to learn anything from me. It's all a fucking responsibility. But by the end of it, why don't you put what I'm telling you together? The other group that threw you away was so sweet and so innocent, you couldn't even believe how evil they know how to be because they synced it. I felt bad for them because they synced it. I never know such a glorious, beautiful people in my life that had to see and tolerate your bullshit. It broke my heart because I could have eaten for free. I could have eaten for free off of the scum that you were to them. And that's called family to me. That's called guardianship. That's called love. That's called crap. That's called technique. All those things. You make monsters or you make innocent people. One of them will not be a bystander here. And all you try to do is get me to inflict something on somebody else and be a stupid motherfucker like you. And that's all you gave a shit about was a stupid motherfucker like you. You didn't care about anything or anybody fuck else. So why don't you go get a better life? And by the end of it, I couldn't instill you with shit. And I gave you lessons along your mistakes. I always tolerate something, but you push it to the point where it's only tolerance and it looks like your fucking totality. Well, guess what? After a while, I ain't drinking that kind of fucking wine. So you go find something else to fucking do. Not all of us has an addiction to play on. And you go down the playbook of a motherfucking evil ass, demonist fucking devil prophet without even a fucking item that even could be called sinful enough to even get into the regards of what an open business is. With a cultural, ignorant, actual mistake. And then you expect me to condolence my respect, my self-respect on you, or to claim me as some entitlement for what you really have to do? Only if you had something in just to do, then be right and proper. Because after a while, it's just going to look like you cutting thinner on the table. And guess what? I ain't asked for no money. So when everybody else left in the room and they wanted to know why you here or why you wanted to be left in the room with just me, after a while, it's like you either wanted something or you starting to realize something. You don't get how I work. And that's not how you find out. I'm not one of those people you're going to find that out with. I told you before that. So you're going to have to go zoom back in your fucking mind, look it up, and realize that I asked you to do one real seemingly normal, decent fucking thing. And you skipped that to go for something else. And then now you're like slowly working yourself to the bigger question from me. And it's like you climbed the mountaintop and didn't even ask the Asian dude. Well, get this. It's a good old joke for like, all right, nobody wants to fight him anyways because they're right about something. They don't want to fight the other family because they're right about something. They don't want to fight the rest of them because they're right about something. You can't even adopt some of your own fucking kids because they were all a part of the same seven. So what the fuck was I supposed to do? I did what I was supposed to fucking do. You ain't gonna find a chink in this motherfucking sword, so you just gonna have to go and live. It's flawless. You just gonna have to go find something else to fucking do. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. So by the end of it, this proverbial power that you're looking for to encompass the world with your fucking bullshit, why don't you just take the time and go guard a fucking store or go guard some other shit in life? Like, what the fuck? In this country, be James Dean, though. But otherwise, we don't fucking owe you nothing. Because even I'm not James Dean, so I know better. But by the end of it, it's like, give this country something or shut the fuck up. You got to be focused on the real fucking thing. But then by the end of it, it's like, all you wanted to do is more time to argue and be bitter like the other motherfucker who keeps trying to stack up what he did wrong and see if he can take advantage of living more. And you know what's weird, sick, and sad? You know why that type of person in that 25 mil is still like that? You get my 25 mil joke, you still haven't got that? Oh, well, you have to be rich and dumb enough to actually know what I'm talking about. But if you were poor and dumb enough and still know and don't know what I'm talking about, it still adds up to like, you're wasting your time with the wrong fucking playbook. Dude, you can earn some things in life. You can pay your dues. It's almost faster if you earn and pay your fucking dues and get something rather than just sitting there scraping out, breaking all the rules to end up achieving that shit at a way later time. And we're just like, you wasted all your time. You could have cleared that shit up in like a few years. Now you're talking about like you wasted your whole life arguing with us and the system. We're not a part of the system either, sweetie. Like, all those things that we give for you and the system doesn't make us a part of what your rational fucking problem is. I'm not your fucking daddy issue. Love is not something that grows in the fucking concrete. And that's what we know. What I can't offer you is what I can't offer you. But what I gotta tell you is that if you only that fucking stupid, those same stupid people, rich or not, are still gonna be warring forever because it seems to never end for them. So what did you do? Because after a while, it's only going to make sense that what did you do? Oh, you're another stupid motherfucker that didn't have anything wrong with you either. So why don't you just go act right and stop trying to get a fucking shortcut from other people that earn have self-respect, or do profit off of their own good deed in life? So why don't you go do that? Like, you could get a lot further with that. Instead, people want to take shortcuts or even sell themselves short or even whip themselves into what they think is a better discipline for life. With sometimes they're just like, you look pathetic and you look stupid because there's no reason to self-abuse yourself for their shortcomings. Did you ever think about that, or is the other God just covering for you? So by the end of it, I'm like, you know what? I'm short on time. Everybody else is short on time. I've said enough, but you had to know because somebody else that isn't wearing a mask had to explain to you is like, as an honorary thug, whatever the fuck we call these things, as an urbanite, I still believe that this might be a better answer, but you just won't listen. So when you're in that battle, I don't have to take into accountability who you are and what you fought for and why you earned respect. You don't earn respect. That's a civil human fucking right. I respect you right off the top. So by the end of it, who the hell is making you fight so much, or why would you have to fight so much for that kind of level of respect? No one gets that level of respect because we're not like that. Like, dude, put it this way. We are not the type that buy out a whole, stadium just to endorse that we threw a party there without a fucking game, without a fucking night, and just organized a sex party and then did a bunch of crazy ass fucking things and then just fucking left and used the place like it was a skank ass tub. We don't do things like that. So by the end of it, what respects and rights are you looking for? When you gamble that much money above my motherfucking head and then try to act as like we were sellable and buyable, why do you want to increase so much fucking law on forcing people to have a good time with you when we didn't want to? You're not our type, or you have to find something else to do, or party with us in a way that's compassionate or empathetic, or things that we can actually do, not just sit there and look for a new sharp way to take advantage of all of us. Either that or you ugly. Or something wrong with you, because I know ugly people that are humbly more worshipful and loyal to me to a point where I'm like, ugly people ain't really like that, because I've seen some of the worst of them, and they've been in ugly sins that belong to disgraces of humanity that have to do with zombieism, and they're still not the flesh of the beast eating motherfuckers that any of us would have had to really deal with, but knew better than that, and knew better than what they were powerfully doing with the other motherfucker, and still were first to work for them just because they were born in a bad outcome. No, it will never be like that for you with me. We're going to find a different way. We're going to find something cool. We're going to find some fun to have. Fuck them. They're going to lie to us forever. And it's always going to be the same game. And no matter how rich they are, it's always going to be the same lie upstairs. It's always going to be the same stupid motherfucker trying to tell you through another motherfucker that this is how it goes until you free yourself. Oh, well, I didn't want to fuck that bitch. Oh, well, I didn't want to gang bang with her. Oh, well, she wasn't my motherfucking type. Oh, well, that women's mechanics are just happy to do things. And I'm like, that's cool, but let's just be real about something. Women are inherent, like men are inherent, to want to procreate. It's not my problem to judge a fucking woman for that, and it's not my motherfucking problem to make it an issue. So even when she makes it an issue, it's still gonna be like, well, goddamn it, we didn't want anything anyway. And more importantly than that, what stakes are you running on people that we would have to offer them our businesses, or is it just difficult for a woman's business to have anything or function? So if you know the truth, then give them their bonus and cut them free, because that's what I have to do with people that may have been in ignorance of it. How the hell are they going to get enough of their own business just to protect their own business? That's a woman's business. So there is no woman's business. Sad story. Up short is up short. Given an opportunity to function as a normal person in society, or to give back to a real growth for faith, is more important than my judgment of women, or the type of men that they really like and actually deal with, or that want to force me into something like, is that okay? Well, no. Because my opinion wouldn't matter to her, and it wouldn't matter certainly to you. And by the end of it, who the fuck really gives a shit when we all have some things to represent, and some people are so as smart as to hate each other because you know me, because your flaw in each other's strategy makes you both seem stupid. Why are you answering to me? What do you know? And then by the end of it, it's like, you knew that. So you knew that I wouldn't even need to use violence. You knew that I could just unplug something and just leave. So by the end of it, if that was the fucking case, what are you so ignorant of? You acted stupid, and I may not have to take recognition or reconnaissance of that. So by the end of it, it's like, yes, I act alone. Yes, I left a book there. Yes, I left some champagne there. Yes, I left a bottle of wine there. You don't like my calling cards, then the problem was solved. And whoever showed up, the next stupid person in line, would get a free book and a fucking bottle of wine or something, and then know to go live their life. Why? Well, let's just say the gods that I knew didn't have much left over, so I offered what made fate sense, and then I fucking left. But if you found me because I'm not supposed to be afraid of you, that I'm not really supposed to live in anonymity, and that I do address some some issues, what the fuck could you possibly want? What kind of appetite do you want from the world when literally my hit list means you did everything possibly wrong and you're stupid and no one else remembers and you don't exist? So you forgot. But the contempt of all of that is, why are you asking about places that everybody knows that they're there for a reason? Even if they were like fucking, fucking alumni and they're like fucking 12 years old, they're all there for a reason. That little person knows how to eat you philosophically and analytically. So, by the end of it, there's no graph for that answer of how fucking arrogant, childish, and ignorant you can be, when all I asked was for some fucking maturity. And it might be more ridiculous if I get him to ask you all for some maturity. But by the end of it, why the fuck would that matter when you were supposed to treat us with human rights anyways in the first place? So, don't forget to be fucking kind of civil. Because I don't have to read you the book that I read people when they're being thrown away. It may not be that important to get an extra 2-3 minutes in there to listen to one of my songs as you casually fall out of this plane of existence. I don't know. I don't care. I don't have to owe you a wrestling match. I'm not the type of God that, oh yeah, we wrestled because we liked wrestling. No, you wrestled because we knew eventually we were going to have to protect something, or the wrestling eventually ended, but fuck it, we might as well say it's forever, because some people are just fighting for philosophies that are like, if that's what you base existence on, then eventually you perished the right way, or you went the way of other meaningless things that died of no engagement to the rules, that can't live in an insane place. The world has reset before, and if you ever sit there and it's just like, well, duh, the dinosaurs, but like, you just can't live that way very long, so you're going to have to find some kind of civilization or find some ways to do things. And no, I'm not that old and I'm not that young and I'm highly aware of some things. But when it comes back to getting some fucking common sense answers, all of this stuff is supposed to be good and healthy for you. You got a fucking problem with it. You got a problem with power. You got a problem with some fucking weird ass authority issues that I don't use. You got a problem with like discipline, or mistaking discipline for like, man, you overcraft to the point where I don't even think the other guy that was covering for you even knows why he's punishing himself sometimes. And I'm just kind of like, but dude, like, the irrationality of it is like you're hurting yourself at the stake of like what they did wrong for fate. So you're helping that fake ass demon by blindly doing that. So, after a while, some shit just don't work. You self-discipline and you fast and you do these things as a response to things that you have to treat with dignity and fate in life. So after a while, it's like you were offered respect and dignity right off the top, so I don't really need to hear. And if you don't know anything about me, you don't know methodologies, you just kept going to that ring, you just kept wrestling people, and that's okay too, because we know why. But by the end of it, you talking about all this short life shit, and I'm not here just like making all these crazy decisions because I gave you a small piece of paper where I wanted to give you a full, clean bill of life and living and prosperity. And I can't.